average 8 years longer than Americans, but they won't allow GMO. They won't allow all this, and people keep gobbling because when they're eating processed food, they're not getting the nutrients, so the brain is saying, hey, I'm not eating food, you're just eating empty calories, and you predicted, I remember 4 years ago on this show, and on your own Trends Journal, Gerald, and on other shows, you, with precision, predicted the next big bubble after housing would be the colleges. Now they're admitting it's basically worthless, most degrees, and a total scam. You predicted all this. You predicted the financial implosion that's currently happening, the second wave. So you're saying this drugged-out, stressed-out mass of Prozac, fluoride, aspartame. I mean, they admit that McDonald's and other companies and almost all TV dinners have a, quote, foaming agent that is silicone, deadly poison to your kidneys. And so you're saying we're just going to see this accelerating.
Exactly. And then, again, you don't have to be, put it together. How could anybody not? So now what happens is you build that stress level on top of this weakened host, and you're in trouble. You were talking about the people, as I was listening, was waiting to come on, about the people that listen to your show, the people that you want alongside of you. It's the 20% solution, and that's what we're saying. Because as this is going down at one end, go back to the last Black Plague. It was followed by a renaissance. The people that survived were the people that could think for themselves. They're the ones that changed their lifestyle. They're the ones that went back and looked to the past, a rebirth, to find out what was better before than what was going on now. So simultaneously, as we're going down, there's that 20%. There's the people that listen to what you're saying, that read the Trends Journal, that listen to Chapman and Roberts and Keiser and the rest that are taking a new direction. Alex, every day we get emails, every day, and people thanking us for what we do. But it's not just like with you. I don't want anybody following me. I got my own trip. It's about they thank us for empowering them, to showing them other ways of doing things. So as we're talking about where so many people are going to be going down, a lot are going up. So, for example, if you want to eat eggs from these factory farms, these chicken coop concentration camps, and you get sick on them, don't cry, baby. If you want to eat Auschwitz Farms eggs, mass-produced, mass-consumed, mass murder, don't cry to me. If you go to McDonald's, you eat Burger King, you wash it down with Coke, you can't push yourself away from an all-you-can-eat buffet, don't ask me to help you pay for your health care. God forbid you get dealt a bad hand, you become, disabled or for whatever. Count me in, I'll be there to help. But what we're going to start seeing, Alex, just like the Black Plague, you're going to start seeing a thinning of the herd. And the people that are going to move forward and make it are going to be that 20%. They're going to be putting out those foods out there. They're going to be the Made in America. I told you, one of the great things that happens is that we get people telling us how we're helping them. One guy started a whole line of tomato sauces from the best products he could get in America. Zeke, my technical guy, he heard that advertisement that you have on for the jeans. He sent away for him. He loves them, Made in America. So as it's going down, you don't have to go down with it. As it's going down, see where gold is going. Think 100 times before you get sucked into buying another piece of real estate. Break the chains from those chain stores. If enough people stop going to Walmart, stop and shopping, stop going to Target, stop eating McDonald's, guess what? They collapse. You know why? Because they're working on margins. And the only way those margins grow is by them expanding. And the only way they expand is to get your money. Once their margins go down, they begin to collapse. 20% of the people in this country can break the chains. And when they break those chains, until they break those chains, they're never going to be really free in this country.
Gerald Celente is our guest. I want to get back into the economy with you and a sneak peek at your in-depth fall trends journal that's about to come out. People can subscribe at trendsresearch.com. We've got links up at Infowars.com. But I want to go back to what you were just saying. You know, I sit here and marvel at the stock market being in the aggregate and with inflation way below what it was 10 years ago. Because, you know, those stocks are valued in devalued dollars, so it's actually way down according to the economists we've interviewed. I want you to talk about that. But I go back to studying history. I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist. It's like you said, you don't have to be a genius. You just got to have common sense and know when you're being sold a line of baloney. I remember in '99, CNN saying what a great deal it was to buy Enron. And the news was already out. It was a scam. So they're there to sucker people, and they just keep selling this poison. But I remember gold when it was $268 an ounce back 11 years ago, 10 years ago. And I remember having very little money and buying my first gold coin from Ted Anderson, first pieces of silver, you know, when silver was $5 an ounce. Now it's 24 plus today, gold right at almost 1,400. You know, it should be there soon. 1,378 or 1,380. It's in fact, pull up Kitco, folks, or Genesis or Midas. We'll put that up so we get the current numbers. It's just about to open, or just did. But and in foreign markets, it's even above that. And it's just so simple. If gold for 1980 inflation was supposed to be about 1,500 10 years ago, now it's supposed to be 2,500, and they're devaluing the currency, and we're going into debt, and they're selling derivatives, and all of this is going on, and all of this is happening, it doesn't take a genius to go, well, let me see, gold's $268 an ounce. I'm going to buy some. And I bought it when it was 300 and 400 and 500 and 600 and 700 and 800 and 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300. I never sold any of it. And there I am sitting on 4 times the profit. It's an emergency super backup. If everything completely collapses, I'm going to dump it into keeping this going. There's not much of it, but it's a little bit I accumulated, mainly silver over the years. And I will sit there with family and yuppies and other people when gold was 500, 600, 700, 800, and I'll go, listen, you need to get into gold. And they will laugh at me and say, oh, yeah, right. And I'm like, but it's already performing. And they just, it's like, it's a religion of being conned. It's a religion of being screwed. And I know that con artists, because I've read about them, talk about the fact that they love the mark, or like a gambler at a casino, the more they lose, the more they bet. It's like it's a religion of being a chump. Now, I've been ranting about that, but can you speak to that mindset of just people that want to be hurt? They think it's cute to be conned. I mean, what's wrong with these people?
They've lost their self-respect. People are looking for other people to lead them. How could adults think like this? I began to watch some of that debate from those lightweights that are running for governor in Delaware. What's her name? O'Connell, whatever her name is, and the other guy. It was like high school, man. I'm listening to these people reading. I mean, come on. How can an adult spend time listening to this? Turn on the TV the next day, and the pundits are analyzing the stupidity the night before. Let's think about gold and why people are conned. You know, the media's favorite Dr. Doom, one of the white shoe boys, Nouriel Roubini, who keeps flip-flopping all along, by the way, with his forecasts. Go back to 2009. Roubini said that gold may go over $1,100 an ounce. And that anybody that thinks it's going to go to 2,000, it's pure nonsense. Listen to Warren Buffett, everybody's beloved money junkie billionaire. Hey, I want more money. Oh, that guy, yeah. Yeah, when he said, oh, gold is nice, you dig it out of the ground in Africa, and then you need somebody to guard it. But, you know, rather than that, it doesn't have any value. Oh, yeah, like what he's doing really creates value, buying up other companies, amassing billions so he could be the greediest pig on earth. Oh, that's real value. And then you listen to his henchman, that guy Charlie, what's-in-a-name Munger, his number 2 guy. He doesn't believe in gold, he said. And anybody that does is a jerk. You go one after another. Bernanke. Yeah, that Princeton guy. I don't understand why.
All right, we lost our connection to Gerald Celente right in the middle of a key rant, and we're going to get him reconnected via video Skype and have him complete his comment. We got an hour and 20 minutes left with him. Absolutely amazing to have him on. But I'm really going to pick his brain about the economy, more predictions, where he sees everything going. Please don't forget, we have about $170,000 to raise the next 6-7 hours, and we're going to reach our goal. Now, I'm sure another $50,000 or so will come in the mail. But I mean, look, you got to give to receive. It's very simple. I've given my time. I've made the films, put them out for free. You know, I could have charged $100 a ticket for these 2 sold-out shows in California, or one sold out, the other's about to be sold out. But I said, let's just charge what it costs, and it came out to $10. So I make some weird decisions. But the point is, I hope you will support us by donating at InfowarsMoneybomb.com or by calling 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. We've got great InfoWars crew right here in our office answering the phones, whether it's $1 or whether it's $1,000. You know, it's time for the middle class that's left out there to really get into the info war. The government takes your money and gives it to big foundations and give it to media and mainstream media to fund brainwashing. We don't put a gun to your head. We're here saying, please support us. So Infowars.com. You can link through to InfowarsMoneybomb.com there, or 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139, InfowarsMoneybomb.com. And Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, former head of policy at the Treasury, father of Reaganomics, is going to be joining us via video Skype as well. Gerald Celente joining us from New York State, in the capital there, the operation at trendsresearch.com. And by the capital, he's out in the countryside, basically. I mean, the capital of sanity there in New York. So he'll be joining us. Did we get him reconnected yet? Okay, great. We just got him back. Hey, we went for 20, 30 minutes without the Skype video connection cutting out. But I mean, I was making the point about yuppies and people and even family. And I'm like, gold's 400. It's going to go up, 7 years ago. And they're like, oh, whatever. And then it's 800, and they still, and it's like they sit there and watch TV and think they're smart. They're insiders. Warren Buffett, who sets up this scam to fleece them and to get them into these, suckers markets. And they value being raped. Please continue with the point you made about all the experts. They're wrong all the time, and that's why they're the experts. And then anybody who's right all the time, like you, well, you're evil, Gerald.
You see what's going on with these so-called experts is they want everybody to keep playing their game. And they belittle people like Nouriel Roubini belittles people who want to buy gold. And he said, if you really think there's going to be an economic meltdown, then you should buy ammunition and guns and hide in your log cabin. You see, even when these billionaires, if they lost 90% of what they had, what would they be left with to squeak by? A mere 100 million? So what they're so far removed, Alex, from the rest of society. You look at the presidents and the secretaries of this and that. Every time they arrive someplace, they roll out a red carpet. They have serfs and slaves, these senators, all around them. They're so far removed from the average person that they think that what they put the message out, that just listen to us. We know better than you do. If you're taking measures to protect yourself, you have this needless fear. The only thing that you should fear are those terrorists, and we're protecting you against that. So they're draining from people the self-respect, the dignity, the courage, and the passion to be themselves. And that's what I was saying earlier. Until people break the chains, whether it's the chain stores or the chain thinking, then they're doomed. And we're going to see, just like the last Black Plague, we're going to see a good portion of